A little bit of a different project this morning, guys. We're going to see if we can get this old homestead road whipped back into shape. All right, so this road's got basically two main problems. The first one is pretty obvious, and I believe it's going to be a pretty easy fix. There's actually a ditch culvert right here. It's hard to tell where the culvert is completely filled in or if it's just the ditch is silted in, but it's also a pretty short little culvert. I got a feeling that we're probably going to end up going and replacing that, but we'll make that decision once we get down there and kind of dig into it, see how bad it is, see how full of silt it is, but pretty good chance you're going to see a new one in here. The next issue up here, if you guys follow this trail along, this is actually where the water is running down the road instead of the ditch. The reason why it's running down the road instead of the ditch is there's a big rock right here. I'm not sure what they used to build the road or what equipment they have, but obviously they couldn't get that rock chiseled down. Ideally, this rock needs to be lower than the road so the water stays in the ditch and don't jump out on the road. I don't have a rock hammer. I don't know why. We just don't. I do know why. We don't need one that often, and they're kind of expensive. So, in a lot of times, the homeowner in this situation, it's not worth the expense of hammering rock out of here. But I do have the 140 here with the rock bucket on it. We're gonna do our best to try to get that chiseled out of there as much as we can. If that plan fails, we'll actually just build the road up a little bit so the water stays in the ditch. So let's get the 140 rock bucket and see what happens this morning. All right, this is kind of the moment of truth here. The rock bucket's on. This has been in a few different videos. It's normally on the 120, but it's nothing fancy. It's just an old 3-foot bucket I have. I retrofitted, got the pointy teeth on it. Works really good for digging hard ground or some of this softer rock we got. I think that is sandstone right there. If that is sandstone, we should be able to scratch a few inches off of it pretty easy. So see what happens there. Get that limb out of the way so you guys can see. I'm just getting 6-8 inches off. This will be good. But yeah, look at that rock bucket, man. You gotta dig through that really easy. Right there is why we don't need a hammer in this stuff. See how easy it digs? Obviously don't dig as easy as dirt, but this is also the same type of rock that will rip fairly easy with a dozer. The crazy part is you put that other bucket on there, try to dig this stuff, and you can't hardly even touch it. Ditch right here. Just chipped a little rock out of it all before.
All because of a big old rock.
Well, that took a whole 4 minutes.
Yeah.
That's gonna save somebody. It's hard telling how much road maintenance just having that little chunk of rock out of there. That dug pretty easy. This is what we call sandstone. Usually the top couple layers, excuse me, aren't that hard. It's pretty brittle, so it usually digs pretty easy. Now, once it starts turning red, it'll definitely get hard, but luckily we didn't get to that part, so I think that's pretty good for now. We'll come back and shape that up with the grater blade or skid steer or something. Let's go down and investigate our ditch culvert. All right, first thing I'm going to do is try to locate the end of that culvert pipe. We'll get a little look-see down in there and see what we got going on. You see the end of it?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah. Folded up and down.
What's the verdict?
It's folded up and down. The right solution is to get rid of it and put a new one in.
I think that thing is every shape but round.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like a road course.
All right, yep. Let's go ahead and get her yanked out of there. We'll get us a new one. I think a new one, that's probably what are you guessing? Maybe that's 12 feet at the most?
12 feet.
That's pretty good guess,
I'm gonna say
wasn't it?
13 feet just because you said 12 and just to make sure you're wrong.
Don't make me get a tape measure out so he was actually right. All right, well, let's snag us a new pipe, get that in there, and then we'll get some gravel on this.
Out with the old. There she is. And a nice root to boot.
I think it's definitely time to replace that.
Yeah. Ready to try it? Let's take a look-see. I think it'll work. There's one little high spot that I can take out with my foot.
We have options here. We could get off and help Mr. Millennial put the pipe in, or we could just sit here in this nice comfy seat and watch him wrestle the pipe in. I am definitely liking the second option.
Oh.
You're doing good there, bud. You're doing good.
The rope stopped it.
We considered getting out and helping you, but we decided you're doing such a good job on your own, we're just gonna watch from here.
I can assure you, you did not think about getting out of there.
I did.
Liar.
It was a short thought process, but we did consider it. I'd go a little bit farther, I think. Right about there, yep. I think that'll work pretty good.
It's all yours.
I think we'll put a little bit of dirt over that end. And we'll probably cover the rest of it with rock so it don't settle.
Sounds good.
All right, we're gonna take some of this dirt, put out here on the end where it's not quite as crucial in the driving path. Want to get that big root out of there?
Yeah. Look at that block.
I think from there, we're going to fill the rest of that up with rock so it doesn't settle out. You know what would be really handy right now that I don't have?
The SRS bucket.
It would be.
Huh.
It would be.
But you did bring the hat.
I did bring the hat. I got the hat, but it don't do me a whole lot of good for the actual ditch cleaning here, or the putting their backer part. Putting their backer. We're speaking good English today, folks. We're speaking good English today. All right, that looks pretty sharp. What do you think?
I think that's going to consume. I shouldn't say consume. Be less consumed by the amount of water than that
Yeah.
piece of crap.
Here's a random question. Are we confident it's going downhill?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it is. All right.
You're the one who dug it.
This is true. We know it's right then, don't we?
I guess you can always pee in this end, see if it comes out the other end.
Oh yeah, it's definitely coming downhill looking at it from this end. It's a little bit of an illusion from the other end. All right.
I also think there's an illusion because when you put dirt on it, it kind of bent it a little bit right here, which is fine.
All right, let's. I got some rock in the truck. We'll fill around it with some 53s and be good to go.
With the looks of things, we might be able to test it sooner rather than later.
Hold off, Rain. My helper was on the phone.
Sometimes that happens.
I didn't quite get it fully on the pipe like I'd like.
Oh my gosh.
But I think we can make it work. Stand by.
Oh, we'll make it work. So as always, DP blamed his inability to put rock where it belonged on this guy. So he's gotta fix his problem now. A little more there, bud. Hey, it looks like you've done this before. That worked out pretty good.
Far cry from perfect or beautiful. So I think we'll make it work.
Let me guess, it's still all my fault.
It is all your fault. I don't know how yet. Give me 10 minutes, I'll fix it out. But I see now we got this pipe in. Let's grade this road and we'll get it prepped for new rock. What do you think?
Sounds marvelous to me. That's going to feather in perfectly. Right there, folks. Got a couple of spots to knock off here. Another spot to knock off there. Straighten that little curve out. One high spot in the middle. That water's going to run nicely from up there where we notched the rock out right down into that curve and then slowly go right into that pipe. attachment does so well.
I got our pipe all covered. Got a nice little crown on the road. Man, that little grader attachment is absolutely awesome for that. Before we put our top coat on, we're gonna go ahead and take the smooth drum roller. Stuff, that rock you guys seen, we pulverized up, so we'll just get it beat in tight so it don't absorb water. Should make them a good base. I don't know what the difference is. That's the exact same roller as the sheep foot. It's just smooth drum. It's actually got less hours on it, but that one does not run near as good as the other one. I'm not complaining. She's getting the job done, but it's definitely not, definitely some differences between the two for sure. But as you guys can see, Matt's getting that hammered in pretty good. Now that he's rolled it, there is a few imperfections in here. That's all right. We're gonna put about 4 to 5 inches of 53s on it, which 53s in our area is a number 5 size rock, about 3/4, with basically lime in it. A lot of people call it ABC, I believe. But we're gonna come in here, we'll spread that on there, we'll grade it one more time with the grader attachment, and then we'll hammer that in. That should be good, but hopefully you guys can kind of see the profile of that road. High in the center, kind of crowns over to the ditch both ways. Obviously everything here drains around good. We got the ditch opened up there higher, so with very little maintenance, this road should be good to go for a pretty good while. The whole trick to these roads, there's 2 things you need to remember when you're building a road. One, you got to have a good base. We didn't have to mess with the base here a whole lot because it's been established for years, and they just got done logging up here. That's why we're actually doing a bunch of this work. It held up all the log trucks fine. So we have a good base. We didn't have to worry about that. Anytime you got pumping ground and wet ground, you pretty much need to dig it out. The next thing is drainage. You got to make sure the road is higher than the ditches. Otherwise your road becomes the ditch, and that's just never good. It'll blow potholes in it, it'll wash out, it'll always be an issue. So if you guys are building a driveway or building any type of road, good base, proper drainage, you'll be good to go. Even on a hillside, you can build a road that'll last a long time with minimal maintenance. On a gravel road or a dirt road like this, there's going to be maintenance. There's just no way around it, but you can definitely minimize that maintenance by proper base and good drainage. Drainage, everything from the ditches to the crown in the road to culverts, water swells, the whole 9 yards. So we'll let Matt make this last pass here. We'll take what little bit of rock we got left in the truck, go ahead and spread it out, and then we'll head to town to grab another load. We'll probably need at least 2 more loads if I had to guess. But looks like an interstate highway running around there.
he can do it twice in one day. Plus 2 more. That was a big rock. Not too bad. I'd say he got it, yeah, 4 inches. It's actually really good. But we won't tell him that. We'll tell him to try harder next time. Man, I don't know about that one. I think you should try harder next time.
I'll tell you what, that's redemption for about 10 videos ago. I'm not sure how we got this oddball.
So I told him, like, dang, that was a big rock.
We'll use that for over here. How did it even come out the gate?
It smacked it really hard, and then I guess it turned just right.
All right, I'm gonna head down and get another load. Man, look at that. I started right at the gate. Perfectly spread. I mean,
so let's be fair. If I hadn't have said, hey, your gate's already unlocked.
Oh no, it's on my checklist.
Yeah, sure it is.
All right, sit down for another load. All right, off to get another load. We got 4 loads quoted on this one. 2 loads are on the job. I missed you guys in the first one dumping it. It's not that far to the rock yard. It's only about, I don't know, 6-7 miles, but it's all the way on the other side of town. So that's all right. Nice little day for a drive, folks. Nice little day for a drive. Getting loaded. This is one of those jobs that would have been nice to have Lieutenant Dan on. It would have been at least 1 less load, and I probably could have hauled it out of the quarry instead of the retail yard, which is about another 30 miles away, and saved a little bit of money. But time is money, so we have to make the short trip. It all kind of equals out. But I don't know, you guys have probably already commented, need to have the truck going. I'm working on it, I promise, I'm working on it. Hold up. Alright, let's roll. $47,000 and some change. Just a little bit on the light side. We can haul up to 48. That equates to about 12.1 tons is what we can legally haul in this truck. I can haul 12.5 tons, but I usually end up between 12 and 12.5, so it is what it is. Back to the job site we go. All right, pulling back in the job site. We'll get this one spread and go get one more. Getting close, Mr. Millennial.
NY Millennial.
I think one more load will get it. What do you think?
I think it'll look awesome.
All right, back to town for one more load. All right, we're back with the last load. You ready to spread this one out?
Are we adjusting links, or are you driving faster?
We're driving faster. We're gonna catch a whole new gear. No expert truck driver by any stretch of the imagination, but that turned out pretty darn sharp down through there. I think I'm going to put the grader attachment back on the skid steer real quick. Hit that one time, just kind of touch it up a little bit, and I think we'll be good to go. Look at that, started right at the gate. Perfect. This thing is still with my homemade joystick. This is the up, down, tilt left, tilt right, and then this here swings the blade back and forth. It's not ideal, but if you guys go back and watch the video on it, it was like a quarter of the price than the actual true control box, and I really have no complaints. It's worked pretty good for me. I got resistors in the hydraulic lines to kind of control the movements and how fast they happen. And works pretty doggone well. We're going to go up here one more time, and we'll probably come back right down the center, bust out that ridge, and I think we'll have her. Looking good, looking good. Back for one more pass, just kind of lightly right down the middle, knocking off that little bit of a ridge there from breaking that rock in from both sides. I think once we get to the bottom, we'll let Matt do his magic on the roller and call this one good. That, man, that looks absolutely awesome up through there. I love that little grader attachment. It is the handiest thing for small little jobs like this. Bigger jobs, bigger grader would be nice. Small jobs, small grader's nice. Get Mr. Roll-O-Matic here. That's gonna be nice. rock's got just the right amount of moisture in it, kind of packing in there like concrete, which is just what we want. Just what we want. I think a roller has to be one of the most boring things ever to film. It's hard to make a roller exciting. I'm doing my best. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you even want to see roller footage? It does make a difference. It does make it look different. But there's just not much excitement there. That's going to be the last pass right there, and we're going to call this one a wrap. Man, it looks good up around there. Well, that's all, folks. I believe we got it wrapped up. We got our rock dug out of the ditch up there so we can keep the water around. Coming into our new culvert pipe here, which discharges over the hill in the same spot. 4 loads of base rock down, compacted and profiled in. We're heading to the house. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't care to give the video a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you don't miss the next adventure. Consider subscribing. Either way, sure hope we catch you guys on the next one.